get moving here because the clock will beat us. You know, the clock doesn't stop for us, does it? Yeah.
Sure it does.
So we're joined by Sergeant Ger Harrington from Killaroo Garda Station. Ger, this is your first time here on Scariff Bay Community Radio, is it, in Saturday Chronicle?
My first time, yeah, and delighted to be here.
Yeah, well, we're delighted to have you too. So tell us, what's been happening in East Clare from your point of view for the last week or so? Or is there any advice that you want to give us?
I suppose over the last week in relation to crime, it has been relatively quiet, thank God. A number of things that do continue to raise their heads. I'll just run through them there now. First off there would be thefts from vehicles. So the advice to people out there would be to ensure that your vehicles are secure and locked, and when you're walking away from the vehicle, make sure that you hit that lock button, and don't leave any property on view. And we'd always kind of try and say to people, if you can, park in a well lit up area or in an area where there's CCTV located. I suppose one of the other big ones that is prevalent at the moment and has been for a long time is fraud and economic crime. So in relation to that, we'd say to people to protect your personal details like you'd mind your wallet. Make sure that you don't give them out to any unauthorised persons. We're all in receipt of text messages, so the advice there is don't click on any link that's inside in a text message. If you have any doubts in relation to text messages, go onto the legitimate website of the person that's purported to be in that text and make contact with them yourself. So protect the personal details.
Some of these scammers can be very persuasive and just catch people on the hop.
They're extremely persuasive. There's always an element of urgency in relation to the message that you're receiving. So it would be like
the cold callers especially, they can call you up and just...
Absolutely, yeah. They're extremely persuasive. There's always urgency. So the message is to stop and to think, and if it doesn't sound right, come out of it altogether.
And they only have to get lucky once every 50 calls that they make or something like that.
Absolutely,
they put a week's wages out of it.
And if somebody has concerns, Ger, should they contact the Garda, the local Garda, or how does that work?
if you feel that you have been a victim of economic crime or frauds, please do make contact with the Gardaí. There is a very good website out there. It's called fraudsmart.ie, and it has a link inside in that in relation to checking scam websites or whatever. So you can copy the link of the website. You can enter it into there, and it will tell you whether it's legitimate or not. But there's a lot of good information and good tips on fraudsmart.ie.
Yeah, I just heard the other day someone I know who got a message from a bank. It wasn't really the bank, of course, and they used her personal name that she doesn't actually use on her bank account. That seemed pretty frightening, that they had that degree of intimacy, as it were, with somebody they were trying to scam. Do you know?
We're living in an age of internet. We're always, no matter what we do, we always enter personal information, whether it's online shopping or whatever, and,
sure.
and that's how that information gets out there. So it can be your first and second name, your email address, and generally every once in a while you'll see that there has been data breaches with large companies and large businesses.
Yes.
That information then makes its way into the hands of criminals.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a frightening world, no doubt about it, that even online, and especially online.
It certainly is.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any further trouble? There seemed to be a spate of car thefts and problems about cars a couple of weeks ago. Has that calmed down a bit?
That seems to have levelled off at the moment. All of those matters continue to be investigated, and there's lines of inquiry being followed there. But again, it goes back to what I said there at the opening, to ensure that your vehicles are secure and that there's no property on view. If it's a little bit harder for these people, they tend to move on to the next vehicle.
That's great to know. So really, it's all about, in a way, car hygiene. It's good hygiene, really, as regards your protection of your property.
It certainly is, yeah. I'd call it housekeeping.
Exactly.
Sure, we might leave it at that if you don't mind. We're under a small bit of time pressure. Thanks for taking the time to come
Thank
into
you
us
very
here,
much.
and we wish you and your colleagues all the best for the coming weeks. And thank you on behalf of our listeners for all the work you do on behalf of the community here.
Thank you.